YouTube, we're gonna get right into this haircut tutorial. I wanna show you guys a clean, simple, easy to follow plan. This is a fading system that you can apply no matter what the haircut, no matter what the hair texture is. So first we're gonna make sure that we cut the top to the desired length that the client gave you in the consultation. You can see here what guard I'm gonna be using. So let's take care of this first, and then we're gonna jump into these easy to follow but super effective fading steps. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Tito. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad to have you here. I make well over 6 figures in the barber industry. I don't do nothing extra. I cut hair and I film it. And I want to help you achieve the same. The best way that I've been able to do so is through efficient haircutting systems. So let's get right into it, because starting off with the bald fade, I always recommend, if you've seen any of my videos, that you start off with the clipper all the way closed. I'm not going to recommend that you start your bald fade using a trimmer, because a trimmer is a machine that's designed to put in a harsh, sharp line for your front edge. It's a very hard line, so why am I going to put in a hard line now? It's just going to make it harder to fade later. So this is the first gem that really helped me take my haircuts to the next level and my efficiency to the next level. Now obviously, if it's a high fade, you put the line high, and if it's a low fade, you put the line low. But regardless of whatever shape you initially set in, you're gonna open up your lever and you're gonna set the next secondary guideline completely parallel to that first line, and you want it to have some space. You want it to be at the very least a finger's width, and at the very most up to an inch. You need to give yourself space for the gradients. You don't want to compress your fades at this point. So now guys, we've already debulked and we've already set our primary and secondary guidelines in. Now it's time to start down fading. So the length that we have on top, we're not going to need to debulk any further. We can go right into it with the number 2 guard. And the way that I use this 2 guard, I like to use the shape of the head as a ramp to launch this clipper up and off the scalp. Now, preferably, if the hair texture will allow you to, start with it open. If not, you can go straight and closed, but if it's possible, start with it open, because it's going to give you a softer finish, and then you can follow up with the 2 guard and the lever closed. But you're going to take this number 2 guard up and off the scalp. And I like to think about it like the teeth are always going to be aiming up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. So this is just going to help you create that shape from here forward, where you can just start skipping guards and you don't have to use your 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You can just go straight up with whatever guard you're comfortable with. In this case, the number 2. So now that we've already faded down and removed the bulk necessary with the number 2 guard, first open then closed, now we're going to take our number 1 guard and we're going to be repeating the same motion. Remember that 2 already picked up all the hair that it can, with it open, with it closed. But now we're going to do the same thing over again with this number 1 guard. And we could start open, and again, still the same concept. Use the shape of the head as a ramp and launch that clipper up and off the scalp. It's going to help you keep a nice squared up shape while maintaining a super blurry blend and setting you up for a kill shot blend that we're going to get into next. So now guys, we can return to the beginning part of the fade. You remember that we started this fade off with the clipper all the way closed. And if you remember, I said it was gonna set a softer line, one that is easier to blend out. And here's how we do it. First things first, please get in your mind, yes, you are gonna have to raise the fade. And that was something I was so afraid of in the beginning of my barber career. But once I realized, dude, it's a fade because yes, I'm gonna get higher and higher, but the length is going to get longer and longer, and eventually it's going to blend and meet perfectly in the middle. So you're going to break through that guideline at the very bottom with the clipper closed, and you're going to pick it up a little bit. Yes, you're going to open up another notch, and you're going to pick it up again. And you're going to open another notch, and you're going to pick it up again. And watch how this just seamlessly blends together. Trust the process. Let's watch this come together. Barbers, are you sick and tired of dimming your phone screen every time you pull up your bank account because of the shame of how low the balance is? With the 6-Figure Barber Mentorship, we help you find and fix the weak points between our easy to follow modules and our over 20 live stream calls per month from Chris Basio and his coaching team. We're gonna help you build your clientele to beyond 6 figures and scale so you can start to buy your time back. And the best thing about this, you're gonna see results month 1 with our 30-day challenge. There's no better way to motivate you than to get you quick wins. The link is gonna be in the description. I'll see you guys soon. So the blend is sitting nice. Now we can go ahead, while we still have this clipper in our hand, look at how I can freehand on a downward motion. So remember, with the fading, it's pressure at the bottom and lighten it up as you get to the top. It's the exact opposite with fading the beard. It's pressure at the top and lightening up pressure as I go down. And this sets the stage for me to be able to easily blend out that beard. So let's check this out on the other side again. You can see how easily and how quickly this came together here. I'm gonna switch the camera now to the other side so we can watch this come together again. Remember, pressure at the top with the lever open, pressure at the top, and float your way down. I have my lever open, pressure at the top, float it down. Look at how smooth that stroke can be. And that takes care of the majority of the blending. Now I can freehand the rest of this beard. Now check this, guys, out. We're gonna continue freehanding the beard because I truly feel like this gives us the most control over what the beard looks like. If I were to run a guard through it, the shape of your beard is completely at the mercy of the shape of your natural jawline. Now start the shape from the neck and then work your way out, pull the clipper outwards towards yourself. If you start outwards and you start shaping your way up in, you see, I'm doing that now, but it's because I've already established the shape. I've made the mistake, guys, of not really understanding where their jaw or where their chin sits. I've given the worst, ugliest beards because I started my initial stroke for the freehand came from the outside. So I would recommend place that clipper at the neckline, pull it outwards towards you so that way you can establish the shape and then you can detail going in. Now this beard line is gonna come out pretty crispy. I want to keep the beard as wide as possible so that way we can really let it fill in. So I'm gonna keep the line tall, meeting the corner of the lip. Of course, we're not gonna cut off the mustache, but if I can imagine a continuous line from the corner of his lip straight to the sideline, that's where we're gonna set this up. You can see his hair will grow up to that point, not very full beyond that. And whenever you wanna establish a curve, on the shape, you can stretch the skin, and even though you cut a straight line in, when you release the skin from that tension, you can see right here, it leaves a nice little curve. Punch that line in, release the skin, natural curve. Now, while I'm doing this trimmer work and I can already see this side of his head start to come together, now I can go ahead and punch in my vertical bar, and I'm gonna come in on the other side and do the same. But I really recommend starting your vertical bars before you do your front lineup, because there's been so many times, guys, that I have started my lineup, especially when it's fair skin and fair hair like this, where I'm gonna start my front lineup and I find myself drifting way too far into the temple area. Now I don't have a choice but to push my client back because I put his line in so deep into his temples. So that's something to consider, guys. Set those vertical bars in before you begin your front lineup. So best practice when you're lining up, you could see he's got weak spots on the left, the middle, and the right. I need to find out where is the best place to put this front line, right? I need to find and make my first incision right there in the middle, so that way I could find a nice balance. So I punch that line in right there in the middle, and then I'm gonna go ahead and work my way to one corner, connect that. Cool, I'm looking at that line, it's gonna be nice and straight. Then I'll return to the other side. You see, the reason why you wanna start in the middle is because if you were to do this lineup all the way from the left corner all the way to the right corner, it's one very long, difficult job to keep this all balanced out. Whereas if you just start from the middle and work your way to the corner, and you return to the middle and you work your way to the other corner, you're taking one big job and one big difficult job and breaking it up into two easier jobs. So let's watch this come together. So now guys, this is the fun part, man. We're gonna take this trimmer, the Tomb 45 FX collaboration that we did with Babyliss, and you are gonna see how this thing can just mow through the bulk. Okay, so this is why it was so important for us to start the fade with the clipper all the way closed. You see, starting with the clipper closed, it gave our brain the reference, like, hey, this is where the fade ends. So that way I could put all my energy, all my mental effort into blending just that top and keeping my eyes concentrated on that blend area. You could see there's really no skill at all involved in balding it out now at this point. Now I just need to remove the hair. So that's why I'm using this trimmer set. It's so powerful that I had no issues at all with tugging, no snagging, nothing like that. So it's been a really fun trimmer to use, and it's gonna be tagged in the bottom left corner of this video. You're gonna see the tagged products, and you can get yourself one. It'll definitely support the channel if you buy that way, so I would appreciate if you guys did that. But check this out, man. We're gonna continue balding this hair out, and depending on your client's preference, you can bald out with a shaver after this. I'm also gonna have some really good options for foil shavers tagged in those tagged products below as well. Here we're gonna follow up with this foil shaver. Now this is the Braun Series 9. It's been a while. If you have been following my channel from 3-4 years ago, you may have seen that this shaver was all over my channel, man, and it's been fun to bring it back out. I'm a big fan of how this shaver actually comes with a charging and a washing dock. You hit the button and it literally will wash the shaver for you and keep everything sanitized and sterile for your clients, giving them the best experience. So I'm also gonna have this tagged in the bottom left section of the tagged products. It's called the Braun Series 9, but I'm gonna be tagging the sport version because that's actually a cheaper version of it where you don't have to spend the $400 it normally costs. And you can see the performance definitely shows, man, because that's what I'm using here, and that's what I'll be tagging for you guys in that section. So thank you guys again for sticking with me through this video. Please comment down below, what was your favorite gem that was dropped in this video, guys? I definitely hope that it's been able to give you extra confidence when going into a haircut. You see, haircutting doesn't have to be complicated. If you have a good system and you have the right products, it is easy peasy. So if you like the machines, if you like the tools, everything that we use today, I'm gonna tag everything that I can in the bottom left corner of this video. You'll see where it says tag products, and you can have a setup just like mine. Comment down below, man, any concerns or questions that you may have about this. If you have any special requests, I'll see what I can do, guys. Thank you for subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next video.